want so much more. We walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, together we'll move along. Searching for a brighter day, holding tight along the way. Sobriety's a steep climb, DNT winning every time. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, TNT bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, TNT bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, TNT bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk, right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm, TNT bringing all of you along.
Well, hello, good morning. Christy might be joining us remote. I'm just waiting to see if she clicks in or not. I am new to this new one here, so I don't necessarily know exactly how all of this works. So uh, I'm learning this new program. So we will see if if she pops in. I sent her the link, so I'm not entirely sure how this all works. I know how it worked when I was using the um when I was using StreamYard. Sorry. And you know, I want to really work on the thing because it's obnoxious. I listened back to one of my recent broadcasts and that was really obnoxious. So I am going to work on that. No promises for success, but I'm still going to work on it. See, and then I go, but that is the thing, is we're all a work in progress. Nothing is perfect. And, there you go again. See what works. I used to do, what's the thing I'm trying to say? Okay. I used to do the, what's it called? Oh, Toastmasters. It took me a second. I had to think about it. I used to do Toastmasters and, they hit you every time you say that. So it was actually really helpful when I did that because it would keep me in check for the things you're saying. And you start catching yourself the more you pay attention to you doing it. So, you can just try your best to not do it, but it is difficult sometimes to catch yourself uh going into that uh uh all I can say is we're all a work in progress, so do your best. Do your best. Do your best. Do your best. That's literally all I can say. And with that, let me see if Christy is come in yet. I do not see Christy. I don't even know where to look for that. So, hopefully I don't miss something because I sent the link, but I'm not seeing it. Okay. Well, anyway, we will get started without it. Not worrying about it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna not worry about it, and we're gonna move on. Today we are talking about mental self-care. And what is that, and what does it mean, and what are we talking about? So, mental self-care is actually really important for us to think about because we have different things that we all do that helps your mental health, and that is the whole point about this program, is that we're trying to do a lot of talking about self-care and what self-care means and what we can do with self-care um and self-love. That is the theme for this particular channel. And it's not just for self-care, self-love, self. It's about mental health, sobriety, addiction, and how can we work on the things we feel like we need to work on. And how do we connect with other people? How do we make things better for ourselves based on um, not falling into the traps of addiction or any of those other things. Now, I apologize because I am doing something while I'm doing this. So, we have to think about what things we need to do and what things we shouldn't do and what things we want to work on. And there are so many things you can read about, and I think the most important one, honestly, is connecting with other people, because when you find out the things that work for some people, but also just connecting with them and listening to someone else and talking through your problems with another person. Um, I I did an analogy with somebody just recently. I talked to them about that. It f- it it's like packing your suitcase for a cruise. Like, I just recently went on a cruise. So that's how I got this analogy in the first place, is I was packing for this cruise, and I felt so special and so just, oh my gosh, I'm going on a cruise. I'm so kind of snobbish in a way. Like, oh, look at me. I'm doing this and you're not going on a cruise, and I'm so special. Cuz you mentally just feel special. And so needless to say, I pack my suitcase, I get out there to Florida, and I am doing like everybody else. I'm getting to the spot and I'm feeling super special. Like, I'm the only one on the planet. That's what I'm getting at. Is I'm feeling like I'm the only one on the planet getting to go on this cruise. And I'm feeling so special. And then you get to the ship, you get to the port and there's 5,000 other people with their suitcases and their stuff, and they're loading up. And suddenly you realize you're not alone and you're not the only one special and you're not the only one going on a cruise. You're not the only one in anything. So when you are going through life and you feel like you are alone, you're the only one having a mental break or something is wrong, um, it's easy to feel like you are the only one, like you are on a sea alone. You're the only one on that planet by yourself. Nobody else is with you. And it's very easy to realize that you're not as soon as you start talking to other people. As soon as you start communicating with someone else and saying, hey, this is what I'm going through and this is what I'm feeling, and yeah. So today we're dealing with mental self-care. So I did bring up a few things so that we can look through them together, and I will share that with you. Oh, excuse me. I feel like I have something in my eye this morning, but uh let's see. Uh nope, I don't see her. Um I'm just going to keep my eye out. So, hopefully I don't lose it if she comes in. Anyway, so I am going to go through this with you real quick. Mental self-care refers to practices that promote and maintain mental well-being. It involves engaging in, well, if it would start, it involves engaging in activities that reduce stress, enhance mood, and improve overall emotional health. Now, this to me helps with all of the self-care type of things. It's not just mental, because all self-care, I think, this is my opinion anyway, I think helps your mental overall self-care. So, all the things that we look at towards self-care actually help improve our mental health and our mental care. It involves engaging in activities that reduce stress, enhance mood, and improve overall emotional health. And here are some evidence-based self-care. Here's some strategies. 1, engage in regular exercise, which we have said numerous times. Exercise is really good for you because it gives that physical release and endorphins, which, have mood boosting effects. We know this from anytime you have gone and done even a short workout, all of a sudden you feel a whole lot better afterwards. You aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate to intense exercise per week. So that's like per week. If you it says 150 minutes per week, you can do that. That's like an 2.5 hours total for the whole week. And a week is 7 days. A week is not 5 days, even though it kind of feels like it's 5 days. But a week is not just 5 days. And so throughout the week, I think we can, if you click that into 15-20 minute segments, you can do that. You can do that. Practice mindful meditation. Mindfulness techniques such as meditation help focus attention on the present moment and reduce anxiety. Now, I also have an issue sleeping. I have an issue going to sleep, falling asleep. So, I have had so many people recommend the different meditation music, meditation stuff to help me fall asleep. And one of the problems I have, and you might have this problem too, so think about it. I cannot stand when things are repetitive. Like I do not that doesn't mesmerize me or lull me to sleep. It annoys me. So when I hear the same, like we were listening to one last night and my husband put it on and it was fine because it just played different types of music a while. And then sometime in the middle of the night, it got to like a babbling brook or whatever. Dude, it sounded like a pipe broke or the dog's water because we have a not an automatic, it doesn't fill it from, we have to fill it, but it babbles. It's trying to keep the water moving so it doesn't get gross. And it sounded like that, or a pipe broke, or water was running, or the dog was peeing on the floor, and our dogs don't pee on the floor. But anyway, a lot of stuff doesn't wake my husband up, but the sound of water woke my husband up and just sent him flying out of bed, and he wasn't sure what was going on. And then once he checked the bathroom and the dogs were asleep on the bed, he was like, "Oh, it's the music. It sounds like," so he got back in bed and just left it. It took just a couple minutes for him to say, "Yeah, okay, it just sounds like water is dumping somewhere and I can't do this. I've got to I got to go turn this off." So he pulled out his phone and changed it. But that actually would give me anxiety, so I have to think about how I do the meditation. Like I like the sleep meditation music, but I like ones that actually have a quiet voice. I like the ones that continue. Like I don't want it to just do one song like a 30, 60-minute melody and then repeat. If I do that, it does not mesmerize me and put me to sleep. It makes me crazy, and it usually actually wakes me up rather than putting me to sleep. So, that is something we have to think about too, is how these things work for each of us. It does say get enough sleep. Sleep deprivation can worsen mood and increase stress levels. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. I know I was looking and it says like the average American sleeps about 5 hours a night, 4 to 5 hours. So I think it's what's best for you because not everybody's the same and not everybody works the same. And not everybody is going to have the same sleep needs or sleep schedule. But get the adequate amount of sleep for you is most important. Get the right amount of sleep that it is for you. Setting boundaries, that's a huge one. Setting boundaries, establish healthy boundaries with others to avoid feeling overwhelmed and drained. And with that, and it might be in this list later, but I'm going to say with those boundaries, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say, no, I can't do that. No, I'm not going to. I have in the past always been like, I have to say yes all the time. I always have to say yes to everybody. And yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah, sure, I can do that. And then I get overwhelmed because I get too much going on. And I own my own art business on top of everything else I do. So I will get people that are like, oh, can you make me this or can you do this? And oh, yeah, sure, I can do that. I can do that. And I get myself to where I have too much to do and not enough time. So set your boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. Eat nutritious diet. Yeah, this is a important one. This is so important to eat a healthy diet. And I am the worst at it because I don't really care for food very much. It doesn't look like it because I'm overweight. But my overweight is because of health issues, not because of eating problems, or overeating, I should say. Eating problems are that I don't like food, so I don't eat very much anyway. So that's my eating problem. But eat nutritional diet. A balanced diet provides the body with essential nutrients that support mental health. So we need to think about that when we're cooking or when we're making food or when we're eating our snacks is try to select things that are a little healthier for you. I will tell you that when I do eat, the stuff I like the most are vegetables and fruits, and I'm not a huge meat eater. I'm been primarily a vegetarian most of my life, mainly because I just don't like meat. I never have. I don't know why. It's just I'm not a carnivore type of person. And so I thrive much better on eating my vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. Really like fruit, and of course I do have the carbs because when I do eat I like bread and pancakes and waffles and stuff like that occasionally. I don't have them all the time. Occasionally a bagel. I've been much better about eating more regularly because I make breakfast for my mom every day. So that has actually helped me. So if you have to do something to change that part of you, because I knew that one of my issues is that I don't eat regularly enough, so my body is actually storing everything. So that is a problem. So you have to make yourself change those things that you need to change. So take a break and engage in hobbies. Allow yourself time for relaxation and activities that you enjoy. So I have an art business. So when I am feeling stressed or anxious about something or upset about things, I usually go create something. I go in my shop and my studio and um, I create something, whether it's carved with wood or painted picture or whatever it is. I go and I create something. I make something new. I try to do something new because when I'm stressed or anxious about something, having anxiety or whatever, when I am like that, I make something completely new. And when I make something completely new, it seems to do much better for me than just going and doing something I've already done before, because I don't know, the creative process of something new, I have to put a lot more focus and energy into it. I think that might be the reason. I'm not sure. Hold on, I gotta have a sip of coffee. But that is how I spend my time relaxing, is by creating something. Doing an art creation is how I excuse me, I deal with my stress or anxiety is through making something new and creating something. So that's what I do. Anyway, the next thing is spend time in nature. Spending time outdoors has shown to reduce stress and improve your mood. That is so true because if you go walk outside, and I think we had this talk like the other day too, on self love, and if you go and walk outside and you go walk in nature, walk in the trees, walk in the grass, especially in the grass and the ground and the dirt, getting it's called grounding. You get the energy from the earth and it really, really improves your mood and how you feel. It's a really, really good thing. But just going out into nature sometimes, just feeling it and maybe have a short meditation. I will take a chair out there if I need to, but, because 'cause I'm not sitting on my ground, I got too many ants, uh, and it's no bueno. It's not fun getting and I get eaten up by any bugs that bite, so not something I wanna do. Alright, so the next one is number 7, or number 8, I'm sorry. Connect with others. Social support is crucial for mental well-being. Spend time with family, friends, or join support groups. This is really important. And I think we have to think about on another level there, identifying what your biggest issue is or what your triggers are, identifying the thing that might be affecting your mental health the most, and then seeking out a support group or a group of friends in that same realm. You know, if you have childhood abuse or you have alcoholism, if you have a loss of a loved one in your family that you're dealing with, seeking out a support group that works on that and helps people with that same thing is super beneficial and would be super beneficial for you. Also, I have to say, go down, don't adopt them, but go down to a animal shelter or something and let the puppies kiss on you. That is such a great way of feeling better. As long as you don't adopt them all when you're leaving, because that would be me. So seek professional help when you need to. If you have enough problems with stuff, you need to make sure that if your anxiety or your depression or whatever it is getting worse and worse and worse, then you need to seek, actual professional help. I am not a professional. Um, I like to say it's important for us to seek out the ones that we need to help us through those things. And some people don't, um hmm, Christy's trying, but it's not letting her in. I don't understand why it's not letting her in. Uh, it's just a black screen. Okay, well, I don't know. We're still trying to see if we can figure it out. Uh, this is the first time we've tried to do this from Evie Mux. It is not as easy as the other ones. Um, I don't understand. She just said it's just giving her a black screen. So it's not letting her in. That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, just remember if you're dealing with these things and they are exacerbating or they're getting worse or none of the things you're trying are helping, seek out the professional support. There's so many places you can go to seek out that support now. You don't have to just do it on your own. It's okay to seek out professional help. Really, it is. We're going to be having somebody on here on the 26th that will talk about some of the things that you can do for your mental health. So I'm looking forward to that. Mm, that coffee is good. I hope it's not too loud when I'm drinking my coffee and obnoxious or anything. I'm not trying to be obnoxious. But okay, number 10. Practice gratitude, focus on the positive aspects of your life and improving your mood and overall well-being. Remember that self-care is an ongoing process that requires consistency and adaptation. Find what works best for you and make it a priority in your daily routine. So, when you're doing these new things and you find, hey, this really works for me. When I'm getting super stressed out and I don't play all the time and I like this one game on my phone and it only gives you 5 lives and it takes like 30, 45 minutes to give you another life. So when I'm like feeling like overwhelmed with something, I'll just quickly play my game for 5 lives and I usually die pretty quick. So it's not a big deal. But then I know I don't like to go on there when I've got 1 new life. I wanna wait till I have all 5 new lives, and so what ends up happening is I forget what I was stressed about. and I get back to business, get back to work, and back to what I need to be doing. And then next thing you know, I am back to it, no problem. So I've forgotten about the game. So it's not like I'm as soon as there's going to be 5 more lives, I'm right back to it. No, I've totally forgotten about it. So it's really not that big a deal. But look for the things that work the best for you, not necessarily what works best for someone else. Like I said about the sleep music, everyone's telling me and gave me the ones that they recommended. Use this one, it's great. Use this one, it's great. And a lot of them are very repetitive. In fact, there was one that I was given, and it was only like 30 seconds, a minute worth of whatever the music was. I mean, it says it's 11 hours, but it's the same 30 seconds, a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most of the same exact melody over and over and over again for 11 hours. No, that's called hypnosis, and I'm not able to be hypnotized. Um, and I think it's because my brain just keeps going in all different directions. I can't just simply focus on what you're saying or doing and just go out. I've tried it. I went and met with an actual hypnotist therapist years ago, and she tried several different times. She's like, some people just can't be hypnotized. She's like, what part of it? And I'm like, it's annoying. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. And she's like, yeah, that's a lot of the people that I have never been able to hypnotize is for the same reason, because the stuff that we do has to be hypnotic. And for somebody that their brain sees that is obnoxious, are not going to be able to be hypnotized the same way. So I apologize for Christy not being able to get in. She's trying, and she's like, it's not letting me in. It's just giving me a black screen and says loading, loading, loading. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So I can't get her to come in, and I don't want to keep worrying about it too much. I'm going to keep that on the side so that I can see her if she pops up. I'm going to keep an eye out on that, but I'm not going to like make ourselves crazy looking over our shoulder all the time. So anyway, 5 steps to help mental well-being. Evidence suggests there are 5 steps you can take to improve your mental health and well-being. These are probably going to be repetitive to what we have already talked about, but we're going to go through them again. These 5 steps you can take to improve your mental health and well-being. Trying these things could help you feel more positive and able to get the most out of life. And I like the fact that we're going to go back through them because they are important, all of them. So connect with other people, and good relationships are important for your mental well-being. Connecting with other people, but I mean like connecting with people that are positive influence, connecting with people that help improve your well-being. Don't connect with people that are enemies of your past, so to speak. People that will bring you down or give you anxiety. And it doesn't mean maybe your family gives you anxiety. So reaching out to them is still good for your mental health, but limit your time, limit how much you do with that so that you get the good out of it, but you don't end up walking out of it stressed or upset. That is just a suggestion. But you want to connect with people that are going to improve your mental health, improve your well-being. So when you connect with people from your past and family and friends that have a negative impact on you, you have to be very careful of limiting the amount of time that you and energy you give to them, because that can suck you out. Now, I can say there are there are some people in recent past that, I don't talk about. I don't bring up the situation and the issues that were a part of why, they're not on the show anymore, but that caused me a lot of mental issues, mental distress, and, one I still talk to, and she's wonderful, she's great, has a wonderful family, and she's, you know, got a lot going on with her family and medical and stuff like that, but the other ones caused me some real mental issues with myself because, I let that happen. So if you have people that let that happen to you, um, don't necessarily go and engage with them, you know? Like, sometimes it's okay for people to come into your life and then they can go away, and, once you let them go, don't go seeking them back because it's not good for your mental health, let me tell you. Um, so good people and positive and friends and family that are good for you, they can help you build a sense of belonging and self-worth and give you an opportunity to share positive experiences, provide emotional support, and allow you to support others. Sometimes helping others and supporting others also can improve your mental health because it's not just about you then, you're giving to someone else, and that is super helpful. So, I like to do all sorts of different things. Now, I have vendor events that I go to and stuff like that for my business, and when I go there, I connect with other people, and I'm getting really hot, so I hope you don't mind me taking off my Oh, there she is, there she is. It worked. I don't know what y Well, and when we did it before with StreamYard, it was so simple and so easy, and, uh, now it's like, it's so different, like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here right now going, "Okay, she's in," and I can hear her, but, I can't see her on my screen, so
Oh, that's fun.
how the heck do I get her there? So, learning how to use this new thing is, super fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's okay.
Nerd.
I can make
Yeah.
it work. Alright, and we
Yeah.
got it to work now, so that's all there
Yeah.
is. Um, is that, like, a tree behind you?
No, it's just a thing of vines. Yeah. I have
Oh,
a puppy in my
oh, you
strap
have
to
a
me.
puppy? Aw. Is is that
He's
the one
sleeping.
that's being kinda rejected?
Yeah. Done.
Aw.
I know he's so pitiful.
Oh, look at the little pup.
He's so tiny, it's ridiculous. But
Aw.
yeah, he just getting rejected and it's so frustrating too because like I was right before I tried to get on earlier, everybody went to go eat, so he was in the pile and the other ones were shoving him away, and then I pushed them out, put him on, and then the mom like walked away from him and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So I ordered some powder and a actual puppy carrier. This is just a sheet. Jesse like strapped it to me to keep him warm because he was getting really cold.
Yeah,
So I
they
was like,
need
this
that.
isn't good.
They need that
Yeah.
comfort. Now
Yeah.
so are you gonna bottle feed him?
Yeah, at least a couple times and then try to like get him on
You'll
mom
try to
like
give him that.
separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
So
the other ones are sleeping or something. Yeah.
yeah. So gonna see what happens, but this is fun. I'm gonna try to turn the overhead light on. I'll be right back because it's kind of dark
Okay.
in here.
No problem, no problem. Well, at least we got Christy on somehow. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw light pop up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
Ta-da!
now I can see those are vines because before they
Yeah.
looked like they were like two really tall, skinny trees.
Ah,
And I
yeah.
was like, okay, those are, people do have what are they called? The not topiaries or something, the really skinny ones that might be groomed or whatever. They're usually outside, but now
Yeah.
now I see that they're vines, not topiaries.
No.
But
No.
anyway, so we've been talking. I don't know if you've been able to hear any of it, but
Yeah.
we've been talking about our mental self-care. So I
Fun.
I am at number 1 for
Okay.
5 ways to get through. Connect with
Okay.
other people. Good relationships are important for your mental uh, well-being. They can help
Yeah.
you build a sense of belonging and self-worth, give you opportunity to share positive experiences and provide emotional support and allow you to support others. With that, I was talking about making sure that when you are connecting with other people, keeping them positive and people that will uplift you. And if you do have, because we all have people in our lives, family or whatever, that might be a negative influence as well or bring you down. So just
Yeah.
limiting that time to a healthy amount, like you can't ignore them completely, especially if they're family. You still have to give them their space, but
Mhm.
making sure you're keeping your mental health in check, that if that person overwhelms you or they hurt your feelings or they have a tendency, like there are certain people I know specifically in my life that just the thought of talking to them gives me anxiety.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But you
So it's
can't.
important to have those people that will put you in check, remind you of your worth, and let you just word vomit the crap that you went through during your visit so that you can,
Yeah,
you know,
and I think
get
that's
that
an
out and check it.
I agree. I think that's an important part after you might have that interaction with the
Yeah.
person that hurts you or
Yeah.
bothers you or upsets you, and they may not do anything at that particular time. It might be
Right.
from past, trauma or whatever, but after your interaction with them, having a time to, like, go have a cup of coffee with your friend that will
Mhm.
help lift you back up, and because
Yeah.
you can leave that other person with a feeling of self-destruction.
Yeah, absolutely. And also when you're in, say, for example, blah, a Thanksgiving dinner, with those are always fun. And going through the events and the conversations, and you have family with you, having an outward so that you can say, okay, this is like, we're going to go. If I say this word, we're just leaving. We don't have to make an excuse. We're just going.
Right, right, right.
Um,
I think
so
that's always good, especially, like, if you're going to go to someone's house, or if they're coming to yours. Like, think about
yeah,
that one, somebody is at your house. How do you can't go have that secret word with your spouse and say, "We're leaving if they get me to this point." Where are you gonna go? You're in
right.
your
I was
own
just gonna say,
house.
how do you do that? So
Yeah.
maybe having a space or like, yeah,
Having a
yeah,
chore that you need to go take care of that they're probably not gonna wanna participate in it.
yeah,
Definitely know them well enough to not come up with something that you wanna do that they're gonna be like, "Oh, I wanna go do that. I wanna help."
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
go
yeah.
pick a chore that, and it's
Go take
really
a
easy.
bath.
Yeah. Go take a bath. But it's also really easy to say, like, um, like, particularly I have
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah,
Saying, "I have to go pick up dog poop," if that's what you need to do,
yeah,
they're probably not gonna offer to come and help.
right. Yeah, yeah.
For me, I have a really bad bladder, so I have the easy out. I constantly can go, "I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go
Yeah,
pee," and I
yeah,
just take off to the bathroom, and it might be
yeah,
for a quick cry.
yeah, yeah.
But, and that's not to say if anybody's ever with me that I say I have to pee, it's because I want to get away from you. I really do have a bad bladder on top
Right.
of that.
Yep.
So some people could be like, "Oh, that's why you're always saying that." No, I really do have a bad
Yeah.
bladder.
Right. So
I
you
pee
never know.
I pee before I leave the house and when I get somewhere, and I mean, like, even just going to town,
Right.
as soon as I get there, I'm going to the bathroom. So
Right.
that's a legitimate excuse, but it's an
Right.
easy used excuse as well. So
Right.
there's that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, there are lots of things that you could try to help build stronger and closer relationships. So we can try to do these things to help build those stronger relationships. And sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's hard. So
Yeah.
if possible, these are do's. If possible, take time each day to be with your family. For example, try arranging a fixed time to eat dinner together. I think that's really important. Steve and I eat dinner together. And we quite often have my mom come down and she eats dinner with us. But when the kids were here, when our exchange daughters were here, dinner was a family thing.
Right.
We had dinner together, and there are no devices allowed at the dinner table. It
Yeah.
doesn't so it was really funny because Steve and I went to dinner the other night, and we're in the middle of planning and prepping for our chickens. And, she just keeps laughing because every day it's something about chickens. Chickens!
So exciting. So exciting.
I'm excited about it. I know that Christy's not. She's like, "I think you guys are doing something stupid."
I think it's hilarious. I do. I think it's
Well,
hilarious.
and the worst part is, Steve and I well enough now that
Yeah.
we don't do anything half-ass.
No, I know. That's why it's gonna be the funniest thing I've ever seen.
We don't just go out and buy a cute little chicken coop and some
No,
chicken
it's
wire and
gonna be the biggest thing ever. So it's gonna be
no,
hilarious.
we
Yeah.
just got through designing yesterday.
Oh
And
Lord.
we've been
Yeah.
watching videos of people how to make chicken coo well, I mean,
Did
really
I wait? Did I ever tell you about the time I lost a chicken?
no.
Okay, now okay. I had 2 tortoises. I now have 1. Okay. I
Right.
had 4 chickens. This is in the Yuma Desert. We
I'm seeing a vulture in the picture.
No, it was much worse. It was haboob season, when all the rain goes boom.
Yep.
And we had we had a red footed tortoise.
Tsunami in Arizona when that shit comes. I'm not
It
kidding.
really is. It's
Horrible.
insane. Just
I
this
lived through
crazy,
it.
like,
I do remember a
uh,
time where somebody was surfing down the street, so
the way I picture it in my head, because my head does things, is like ridiculous. But so it came through, and my fence for my backyard like flew open at some point, I guess. And we went outside, and our red-footed tortoise was gone, and one of our chickens was gone. So we assumed that they just like went through the open gate. But the way I picture it in my head, and it's the only way, and some of our pool toys were also gone.
okay.
So the way I picture it, this is the only way it had to have happened. This is the only thing, the only way it had to have happened is that the gate flew open at 4 a.m. The pool toys went flying through the middle of the street. The chicken followed behind, as did the tortoise. And somebody was doing a 4 a.m. run because they always, and that is what they came across was the pool toy and just the parade of the tortoise and the chicken and pool
They're like, "I
toys.
thought it was a tortoise and a hare. What is with the
Right.
tortoise and the chicken?"
And we never found them, and that breaks my heart. But like, oh God.
Well, hopefully, maybe, possibly, there might be a chance of someone found them
and picked him up like the runner, just
And
like, oh, it's a free ticket.
it's a free
Because that
ticket.
tortoise was really expensive. He was like $400. And he was really expensive.
Well, and it's not the same as I have to say this. It's kind of funny, but I've always had that mindset of certain things you don't spend high money on because you could
Right.
lose them. Like
Right.
don't buy a $1,500 toe ring and go in the ocean because you're
Right.
probably going to have an empty
Oh, you're
toe.
losing it. Right. Absolutely.
Don't and if you're gonna spend $300, $400, $500 on a pair of sunglasses, maybe don't go in the ocean with them.
No, don't go kayaking.
Yeah, but if you
Yeah.
have a, my Doberman was $2,400.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna, but keep track of it,
Right.
and you
Absolutely.
don't anticipate a
Boob.
tortoise, a turtle
And a boob.
running away.
Right.
I mean, like, it's not like they're super. I mean, I have seen turtles. They can go a lot faster than people think.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, they're fast. Even though you're watching them and you're like, wow, he's moving pretty quick. It's like you can't, it's like 10 feet an hour,
Right.
like you can we had one in our yard. He was
Oh,
a big old guy.
big one. Yeah.
He was like this big around in our yard
Right.
over here. And I
Oh.
saw him at the corner of the property as you leave that driveway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's a big old ass tortoise on the yard. So
Was
we
it like a cicada?
I
Somebody
don't
lost
know
a
because
cicada last week.
I didn't get out and look at it. I just saw it, but it was huge. Like it had to have been somebody's pet. I mean, granted, it could have came out of somewhere. We're somewhat near the Elk River, but we're pretty far from it for them to get as far as they were. And we were only running down to the Dollar General. It was me and one of the girls. And I figured when we got back, I would go grab it and do something with it.
And
Go
was
take
gone.
it down to the river or whatever. And when we got back, it was gone. Like it was not in, and it was headed towards the house direction. And it was gone. Like I walked all over and it was gone. So it might have just turned itself around and went right back the way it came. Who knows? But we were not gone 10 minutes and it was completely gone. So, they are a little faster than people think.
Yeah.
But you don't expect to lose your turtle.
Right. No, definitely did not. Yeah.
I mean, so like when I spend money, technically it would be on a pet. It would be on an animal because I'm not expecting them to vacate. They're not going to run away. So, yes, we have huge plans for these chickens and
it's going to be wonderful.
I know it's kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, like I'm loving that. I wanted to do this I'm talking.
Do silk chickens lay eggs?
Do what?
Do they lay eggs, the ones you're getting?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to get any that don't. There is one particular one that I kind of am interested in possibly getting because it's really small. It never gets big. It's like this. It stays like this big, but they do lay, but their eggs are crap.
Do you guys have coyotes out there? Because we have them here.
We do. I hear them. So like our enclosure is redunculous. Okay.
You got a barricade?
Yeah, we are going to have, I mean, it's going to have a whole the thing we do have out here that Steve and I were talking about just the other day, we have a lot of hawks.
Oh, yeah.
Hawks. So, we are definitely going to make sure it is animal proofed. Now they're not going to be free range completely. They'll be able to go out in the the chain link fenced yard when someone's out there.
Yeah.
And like in the late afternoon is when the hawks are not really around. Hawks are really around early mornings and in the evenings. So you just have to have your timing, because obviously I don't want to. I'm not putting out snacks.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be taken or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be careful with them. We have a design for very secure. We were going to roof the entire run for them, but we're kind of going back and forth on just roofing a half of it over the top of their hen house, and then one shaded area, and then the rest will be open for them, but with the same fencing that's around, which is very, very, it's called wire cloth or whatever. It's really, really tight, but it's not chicken wire. It's much stronger, but that's going to be over the top as well as all over the sides and the door and stuff. But we've watched several videos, and we were going to order a fencing setup from Tractor Supply that has a coop in it. And then I'm like, I don't like it because I feel like it's too small for the chickens, and plus it's super expensive, like super expensive. And then I ran across this one called, I think it's called Carolina Coops or something like that. They're freaking gorgeous. They're beautiful. I mean, these are for bougie ass people that have a lot of money, because I think this one, it has to be minimum. It has to be like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Like just the way it's built and how big it is and all the bouginess of it. It's got maybe 5, but I doubt it. It's probably $10,000. So that's for that rich ass person who's like, I want chickens, so I'm buying this and then I'm hiring you to take care of them. That's for that person. I'm not that person. So I found another one who's a local, and they build chicken coops, and it's really, really nice actually, for like $1,200 or something like that. So Steve and I were sitting there and we're like, okay, we could do this, we could have this. And so we sat down and I said, okay, here's the cost of the fencing. Here's the cost of the, to order this fencing that's in a kit, and to get this person to just make us the coop sort of the way we want it. That's $1,200. That's this. So it was like $1,800 total when we got down. And I said, if we could cut that one off, the most of the reason why most people buy pre-made things is because they don't have the skills nor ability nor the tools to do it themselves. And I'm like, we have an entire shop. We have all the tools you can imagine to do it. So let's just come up with a design and build it ourselves. But then also, because we're both very particular people, the design will be what we want, not partly what we want. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, but I think that was something I've wanted for many, many years. And I'm talking over a decade that I've been saying I want to get chickens. So it's not something I just now, because the egg prices are so high, that I'm like, oh, let's get chickens. Now I did decide on one part of that, though, is like, I'm getting some baby chicks to raise day old chicks or whatever they are, when they come in. And I'm going to brood them down here in the basement. We'll have chicks when we're in the studio, so we can show off the little chicks. But it takes like minimum of like 6 months before you're going to start seeing any egg laying from them. Closer, from watching a lot more videos, closer to like 8 months or so. and it could be even longer depending on if they are good layers or not.
Right.
So there is that. So I think I'm going to order, and you can order from a hatchery, like already ready to start producing hens.
Right.
So I'm probably going to get just like 6 of them and then a
Yeah.
dozen chicks. Now we could be lucky and all the chicks do really well and
Mhm.
thrive, but everyone says whatever number of chicks you get, expect only to have half of those, because
Right.
it's about a 50% ratio that you lose for whatever reason. They
Mhm.
don't get themselves warm enough. You'll just come down in the morning and one of them will be,
Yeah.
you know, toast. So,
Yeah.
don't, you know, like Kimberly was talking to me about it. She's like, don't shoot yourself for that. You know, don't get all feeling bad. It
Yeah.
happens. It's about a 50 percentile. So, you know, if you want 12 and you're going chick route, you got to get like 24 because,
Yeah.
you know, now you also have to have the mindset that for some reason you might have got 24 really amazing ones and all 24 survived. Now you got 24 chickens.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do is we're gonna get
Yeah.
6 that are already, and we're just gonna order them and have them shipped and
Yeah.
ready to start laying, because now we're obviously not gonna order them till the hen house is built, because I'm not gonna put 6 actual chickens in my basement, to live. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what we're doing. So,
Why not?
the fact that I said we're gonna put the chicks in the basement is 'cause
What are you gonna do when it's cold?
I'm getting a brooding thing so that they can, you know, have a little place to it's like a little playpen is what the brooding
Yeah.
little thing is, and it's got a heat plate in it so they can go under the little heat plate and keep themselves warm and
Fun.
fluff their feathers and all that stuff. It'll be cute, it'll be fun, but I'm doing that to improve my mental health because I feel like giving to something helps me an awful lot. That's
Mhm.
just one of the things that I'm doing for that reason. So, on top of the working on time to eat with your family, you can also arrange a day out with your friends that you have not seen in a while. And for some people, like myself, most of my family and a lot of my friends are not where I live.
Yeah.
So I might have to video chat with them. My kids are none of my kids live where we are. So video chatting with them, catching up with what's going on in their lives. But I will say on top of that is, you know, if you have children that are grown and they're living away and they're married, and they have their own lives, they have kids, they have things going on, try your best not to take that personal if they don't
Right.
have as much time for you as you would like them to have,
Yeah.
because it's I mean, when my son has the time, we'll have a nice long conversation. You know, we might
Right.
have an hour-long conversation, and he reminds me that, you know, when I have the time, I take the time, but
Right.
quite often it's not anything personal. It's I've got 3 little girls and I've got a wife, and half the time he was in school, you know, now he's got his PhD. So as you can imagine, working on all the different levels to get to his PhD and have 3 children and a wife and a full-time job, he was
Right.
always
We were there once.
yeah.
We couldn't even see straight and we're exhausted.
So
So yeah.
I've always told him when I had the time to talk to him or he had the time to give me undivided attention, I'd be like, you know, there are times that I would say, and this is a mental thing you have to do for yourself. There are times that I would say, my kids don't love me, like in my
Right.
head. Like they don't love me, they don't call, they don't, and I'd have to stop myself and say, remember when you had 1 and 2-year-olds.
Right.
You know, remember when you were busy, when you had 5 and 6-year-olds, you know, like remember what life was like when you were constantly on the go, taking them to the things that they had to go to and working. And I was in
Yeah.
school when my kids were young. I was putting myself through college at the same time. So, remember what it was like when you were that way. When you had free time, you were asleep.
You wanted to sleep. Yep. Yep.
You didn't have
Exactly.
you weren't, like, picking up the phone to have a chit chat with anyone because 'cause you're like, "I don't wanna talk to anybody right
Right.
now.
I am peopled out. Leave me
I
alone.
I am." Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
for all of you out there, especially if you're empty nesters, think about that and remember what it was like when your kids were
Right.
younger, and don't take it personal because that can attack your
Yeah.
mental health. If you're taking it
Yeah.
personal that they're not calling or talking to you because they don't like you, they don't want
Right.
anything to do with you, they hate you, you're a horrible person, that's not the case. It's
Right.
because
Another way
life
to look at
happens.
it is like you did that. You taught them that. You taught them to be independent. You taught them to work their ass off. You taught them to be good parents. You taught them to be successful. You trained them to be this person. So that's what they're doing. It's more about being proud than anything else. So,
Right, right.
that's a good thing. So,
Well, and when it starts to attack your brain that it's something else, remember those things. Remember
yeah.
that you taught them that and what you went through it as a young
Yeah.
parent. And
They're modeling you.
and a married family, you like,
Yeah.
eh, eh, not to be religious about it, but in the Bible, it says you are to leave your family and go to your spouse,
Yeah.
they are now your family, and
Yeah.
they really do take priority to you. You're
Yeah.
still a part of their life, they still love you, they still care, but they have other things that are unfortunately you did your job, now
Yep.
it's time for them to do theirs. So,
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Another thing is also trying to switch off the TV to talk or play a game with your children, friends, or family.
Yeah.
Playing a board game, and
Yes.
sometimes it's nice to, hey, let's sit around and watch a movie together,
Yeah.
or watch a TV show together.
Yeah.
But what I feel like quite often some of us don't think about is you're not really connecting with the other people when you're doing that. You're
Right.
all focusing on the TV, and quite often, I noticed this when the girls were here, we would all say, "Let's watch a movie together." And
Right.
what was happening is we would all jointly agree on whatever movie it is we're gonna watch, and the movie gets put on, and we're all watching the movie. Steve falls asleep within
Somebody watching their phone.
5
Yeah.
to 10 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
playing a game on my phone. Emma's either playing a game or she's texting with her friends, and
Mhm.
Lily is scrolling TikTok.
Mhm.
None of us are watching the movie, and
Right.
none of us are engaged with each other.
Yep.
But when we equally did the thing where we're like, "Let's go play a game, let's go play a board game,"
Yeah.
none of us saw our phones.
Right.
Steve wasn't asleep, I wasn't playing a game, nobody was texting their friends, and nobody was doing TikTok because we were having fun playing a game and we were engaging with one another.
I actually seen an interview with, I think it was a film director, and he talked about how when he watched movies with his children or with his daughter specifically, he had set questions he would ask her, and they were about, like, the ambiance of the film. So you just blacked out. That's weird. Okay, so, like, to
I
notice
accidentally hit the fade out button.
I was like, "Oh god, what happened?"
Hi.
But say, for example, like when we did in college, you did film study, right? And they point out, like, when you see something red, something's important or
Right, right, right.
scary is
Yeah.
happening, or the lighting of a film. So he would have set questions for her to look at during the film and they would talk about it after. And I thought that
Okay.
was really cool,
Yeah.
especially when they're younger to grow up with, to kind of get them into like filmmaking or creation, and like
Mhm.
to kind of set them up for settings, you know, to
Right.
like for plot lines, because it makes film not just about entertainment, it makes it about intelligence, you know, and
And
what people are saying
education.
in
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
that
like
totally changes the everything about a
it it
film,
it
you
does
know?
for sure. Well, and like Steve and I, now this happens a lot more with movies that we are familiar with or we really know,
Yes.
like old
Yeah.
school movies or old. We like to do a lot of that old school diving into some of the
Yeah.
old things. And we usually say like before the movie starts, like, see if you can find something you never noticed before. In
Right.
all the times we've watched Top Gun, a
Right.
1,001 times, try to find
Right.
the one thing you didn't notice before. Or fun facts. We will pause the
Yeah.
movie to give fun facts, it's something that
Okay.
you've learned about the movie or you know about it because you read about it or you watched an interview or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Top Gun 2,
Okay.
that was filmed at my home in Tahoe.
Okay.
Like, all the
Okay.
winter, all the snow scenes were filmed in Tahoe, and,
Okay.
they had to truck in the F-14 Tomcat on a truck and put it together on the flight line,
Oh boy.
and, that was the airport because Tahoe International Airport is really not even an airport anymore.
Yeah.
Private planes can fly in there and some private jets or whatever, small jets, but that's where my mom flew out of.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty much a dead airport now. So
Yeah.
that's where they filmed out of, and it's a really cool, like, anecdotal thing, and I'm using that for a reason because a lot of stuff has been filmed in Tahoe.
Yeah.
So when we pick movies, sometimes my husband will specifically pick movies that he's like, "So I know this might you can find something and tell me about it." Like,
Mhm.
um, I can never remember the name of the movie, but it's the one with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner,
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard. That
Yeah.
was filmed in Tahoe. That was filmed in
Okay.
the Cascades. My dad built the engine for the boat that was in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, like, it's fun when we find things that we can point out, and we also
Right.
do a lot of movie lines in our chit chats, like, we will
Okay.
when we're talking, we'll be like, "Yeah, okay, so my dog will bring in a stick," and I'll go,
Mhm.
"I got a stick." And he's like, "Oh, I know the movie. What's the name of it?" And it's, for instance, that's Deep Impact, and it's when
Okay.
they're all being evacuated and they're picking straws or sticks for who gets to get on the helicopter to get rescued, and the one reporter's little child pulls the stick, and she gets, "I got a stick." She doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know
Yeah.
they're pulling sticks because this is life or death and that they're gonna die. She's
Right.
pulling a stick to see whether she gets to live or not, and she's
Right.
just happy, "I got a
Yeah.
stick!" So
Mhm.
Steve and I do that quite often, and I will tell you, if you say, a different movie lines from a similar or the same movies enough times in one day, you will be watching it by that night.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you will end up watching it because you're like, "Oh, I wanna watch
Yeah.
that movie now." It just
Yeah.
reminds you. But it's
Yeah.
fun if you come up with those ideas like you were talking about, or things like, "We've watched this 1,000 times." See if
Right.
you can see something you've never noticed before.
Yeah.
We just watched The Rock the other day, and I was like, "I never noticed that." He's like, "Yeah, me neither." So we rewound
Yeah.
that one part and watched it again because 'cause we're like, "I don't ever remember seeing this in there."
Yeah.
So it's really
Yeah.
cool, and some of it'll be with movies, like, find the what they call them Easter eggs.
He's
Find the
right.
eggs
Yep.
in it because there might be now, like, what's the superhero guy that Ryan Reynolds does?
Oh god. Deadpool?
Deadpool. Now,
Yeah.
they're not just Easter eggs in Deadpool. They are
Right.
blatant, flat out in
Right.
your face
Yep.
innuendos. But
Yep.
but almost all movies out there have some kind of Easter eggs that you
Yep.
can look for or find. And
Yeah.
that can make watching a movie to keep you from being on your phone. And like I think maybe even for teenagers, if you have teenagers, you could do like if you whoever comes up with the most Easter eggs or the most answers
Yeah.
to the questions at the end of the movie gets like a gift card to Starbucks or
Yeah.
gets a movie ticket paid for them and their friend or something. Because
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but with teenagers, you kind of have to have some motivational reason for them to
Yep.
pay attention besides
Yep.
just
Absolutely.
cool to pay.
Otherwise, they're grabbing their phone. Yeah, for sure.
They're like, I don't,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
if you give them an incentive to care, there's
Yep.
a higher likelihood of them caring.
Yeah.
So that's a very important part of it. So let's move on to the next segment here on this little. I got to move my coffee out of my way. Again, like have lunch with your colleagues if you have people that you work with.
Yeah.
A friend or family member who needs support or company. So that's a good one. Going and if you don't have a friend or family that need that help type of thing, go to a VA. Go down and talk to the Veterans Affairs and see if there's a veteran that could use some support and I know for a lot of those places you have to sign up as a volunteer or whatever, but there are other organizations out there that go to an animal rescue
Yeah.
and go
Get suckered in like I did.
well, you could just stay there and help them instead of bringing them all home, but there is that.
But who can say no to the free?
How do you say no to the babies? Yeah. See, I have a problem with that because I couldn't do it because I would end up with 7 new dogs.
Yeah, Jesse this morning was like, "We're gonna end up keeping this one, aren't we?" And I was like, "No, he's not saying."
But yeah, probably.
But yeah, and
Go ahead.
go ahead. I feel like it really is it's weird how it's motivating when it's I don't know, just doing something nice for someone
Yeah.
else just kind of brings you back to yourself. But yeah, for sure.
It is. Like volunteering at a local school, a hospital, a community
Yeah.
group, find out how to volunteer. There are places that you can go to your local community page and find out where you could volunteer, where you could help. And even joining like your local Facebook group, there's probably things posted in there from people that we're doing this if you want to help. Join if you're physical, join your local pickleball group or a book club or something like that. But even though most of us use technology to stay in touch with family and friends, so you can use the video chat features to Skype, FaceTime, whatever, Zoom, whatever video you can use. But what you don't want to do, this is the don'ts. Don't rely on technology or social media alone to build relationships.
Yeah.
That is huge. And social media, and I want to stress, we talked about this yesterday, and I want to stress this again. The people you are watching on YouTube that end their thing saying, I love you all, and you guys, or at the beginning, you are all my friends. You are my friends. I love you all so much. You are my friends. They are not your friend. They do not particularly love you. You're their community that they share with, and they love your support. They love your attendance. They love you being there, but don't misunderstand that and get yourself into a mental problem where you think that person specifically cares for you in yourself. So don't get yourself in the wrong mindset of where it becomes unhealthy watching, like I have to see them every day because they love me.
Right.
I can't miss an episode that this person posts. I used to watch this one all the time. All the time. I really loved her content till it got annoying. And I just kind of stopped watching. Now, I like the sharing everything people that are kind of open and raw, but hers was obnoxious because she was in a relationship, she broke up. She was married, she got divorced. She got in a relationship that swears she wasn't in when she was married, and you're like, bullshit, and it finally just recently came out that yeah, they hooked up before she got divorced. Duh. Like, any of us that were watching knew you guys hooked up before you got divorced, no matter how adamantly you said it didn't happen. Like, duh. You guys hooked up like as soon as the divorce was over with because you were friends right before. No. And then they were together and then they broke up. And then they were together and then they broke up. And then they were together and then they broke up. And then live on camera. And all of this has happened on camera. And then he asked her to marry him on camera. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, what do you mean they're like broke up again? Didn't he just ask her to marry him? Like, this is, I don't remember what somebody said. How it's the days of our lives. But I can't remember what they said, but it was super funny, but it was about this show. And I stopped watching it enough to where I was like, they're together again? I thought they broke up. Oh, okay, they're together. And then I just catch like 2 seconds of it, and they're on screen together. I'm like, I'm confused. I thought you were just broken up.
Yeah.
So certainly don't evaluate your life based on social media. That's what I'm getting at. Because if those are the things you're trying to emulate, you might be trying to emulate the wrong thing. So we need to keep those things in mind. So it's easy to get into the habit of only ever texting, messaging, or emailing people. So we need to get in the habit of also trying to make that physical contact. And if you can't, because they're not local, meet with them, you can do a video chat. So number 2 for don'ts. Don't be physically active. Okay. I don't understand with this one because this is a don't, but it says be physically active. Being active is not only great for your physical health and fitness. Evidence also shows it can also improve your mental health by raising your self-esteem. So I don't know why this is on the don't list. I think this is a do list.
Yeah, that's in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
Where you
exactly.
going?
Raising your self-esteem helps you to set goals and challenges and achieve them, causing chemical changes in your brain, which can help to positively change your mood. Oh, I see what it is. It's a do and then a don't on each one of these.
Okay. Got it.
Now I got it. So
We're there.
Read about running and aerobic exercise to help get you moving and improve your fitness. I agree with that, but don't over-educate yourself. Like,
Don't spend only your time doing that.
Yeah, Christy will say, don't spend 6 months researching running shoes.
Yep.
Like, buy some and start running. While you're doing that, you can research better running shoes. You can if you run enough, you'll wear those out fairly quickly, and you'll need another pair. By then, you would know a better pair.
We'll have the money for the good ones.
Exactly. So yeah, it can help by researching it and stuff, but don't over research something and then never start it. Same thing with our chickens. Don't over research it and spend all your time researching it, and learn something and then do something. That's what I think. Read about strengths and flexibility exercises to increase muscle strength, improve balance, and reduce joint pain. If you're a wheelchair user, read fitness advice for wheelchair users. So that's a really good one. If you have a specific issue, like you have major back problems and you want to do yoga, do chair yoga. You know,
Yeah.
there is wall Pilates, there's chair Pilates, there's chair yoga, there's wall yoga. You can do different things that fit your physical
Yeah.
attributes as because I want to call it attributes because you
Yeah.
have positive things even with your medical issues that you might
Absolutely.
have. So you just have to do things that are accommodating. I
Mhm.
know for myself I have certain limitations, yes, but another issue I have is my bladder. I have a really, really bad bladder. So no matter whether I could do it physically, I will never do any activity that incorporates jumping because that's going to mentally counteract what I'm doing because of what happens when I jump. If I,
Right.
so I'm not going to do jumping jacks. Even if I could,
Right.
I won't do that because I'm going to end up having to run to the bathroom or whatever.
But you know what you could do too is while you're doing it, there are exercises to strengthen that
Right.
may help.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
that is true, but
But I don't know how much with your stuff, but I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
found
I've tried
I've
all of
found things that have okay.
Yeah.
I after a year and a half of Pilates, I have found that there are it's I don't sneeze and pee at the same time.
Well, that's really good. No, I like went to a specific doctor for it, and they did
Yeah,
a full test on how you can, it's called the Kegels or whatever, and you can
right,
and it does nothing.
right,
And she's like, you are like perfect, like you hold the way you're supposed to. She's like, you are very good, but so it's physically my bladder issue, and it's because my bladder has fallen so many times, um, and I've had it
right.
hung like 3 times, and so
Yeah,
I'm a little fearful of surgery again. I know that's what I
yeah,
need. I need to have another surgery and have it but the slings don't hold that's what my problem is the slings
yeah,
don't hold because they have to put your little bladder thing in a little slingy to hold it up because it has no way of holding itself up anymore.
right,
So some people, yeah, do have where you can do exercises to help that, and some are beyond that. um,
right,
and but use whatever it is that you're in situation
right,
and make accommodations. So, like I said, I can't do jumping jacks, but I do
right.
stepping jacks, is what I call
Yep,
them. I step
yep.
out, I do the same moves, but I just don't do
Mhm.
the jumping in the
You
air.
don't jump. Okay.
Mhm. Exactly. So you can make accommodations for any of the things that you can do. Um, and do not feel like you have to spend hours in a gym. It's best to find activities you enjoy and make them a part of your life.
Mhm.
3, learn new skills. Research shows that learning new skills can also improve your mental well-being.
And
So,
prevent you from getting dementia.
mhm,
Learning helps that. Mm.
boosting self-confidence and raising self-esteem, helping you to build a sense of purpose, helping you to connect with others, even if you feel like you do not have enough time or you may not need to learn. Um, there are a lot of different ways to bring learning into your life. Now, there might be things that you think you already know a lot about. Those are really good ones to dive into because you'll find out there's a lot you don't know that you
Right,
thought you did know. So
right.
there's that to think about. And if there's anything else, just get a puppy. You can always get a puppy. I mean,
Puppies make everything
he
better.
he's probably good for your physical therapy too because he's
Yeah,
light enough that you can do some of your arm exercises with him,
absolutely.
and as he
Absolutely.
gets bigger, you'll improve
Absolutely.
because you one-arm
Absolutely.
lifts with your puppy. So
Look how tiny he
what are you
is.
gonna name him?
This one is Zeus.
Is
So we
Goose
name
or
Zeus.
oh, that's
Zeus.
right, because she named them all after Greek gods.
Yep. So this one is Zeus, and then his brother is Titan, and
Okay,
then the other girls are named after females.
but
So
you're gonna keep Zeus probably. You're saying no. What your facial expression is saying no, but your body is saying yes. Anyway, that is our time for today, guys. And we're not going to say I love y'all, but we appreciate y'all coming and watching us and spending this hour and a half with us every day. So we will see you again tomorrow. Until tomorrow, remember to do something good for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
And if doing something good for yourself is actually doing something good for someone else, and that's
It's
what
better.
brings you joy, that's even better because that's like 2 in the hand.
Exactly.
Two birds with one rock kind of thing. So enjoy yourself and have a great day. We appreciate you being here. And once again, remember to like, follow, subscribe. All of our channels and all of our socials is Girl Talks, GURLTAUX, and we'll see talks about it. I can't even talk. We'll talks about it tomorrow. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.